What's going on? The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. Let's preview the NFL. This is the 2025 NFL preview from Productive Conversations from me, Matt Brown, and it's great to see each and every single one of you. I'm going to do over-unders for every single NFL team, all 32 of them, and get you hyped because the season starts today, Thursday, the 4th of September, 2025, and the first Sunday of the NFL is this Sunday. Plus, we have a game in Brazil on Friday. But I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy I'm here. And let's talk all things football. Let's go through the over-unders. That'll be our preview this year. And I just want to remind you, we will recap every single week of the NFL season, the fourth year doing that. And yeah, we are really, really hyped and gonna add to the great world of to this great world of yours by giving the most interesting, unique insight as we talk about the NFL all season long. And you can expect those on Sunday nights or Mondays or Monday mornings, the recap of the NFL season on top of the recap of the college football season. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. So let's do it. Let's talk over unders for all 32 NFL teams. But before I do that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at ProdCobblePod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, don't forget to check out our sponsor, Magic Mind, the world's first productivity shot to help you feel more energized, less in a fog, and ready for the day ahead. Take these green tea shots before the day begins. Amongst my busy life, that's what I do to have a better pep in my step and get ready for the day. Go to magicmind.com/PCJune for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. That is magicmind.com/PCJune for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. Check out the episode description below for the code as well. All right, over-unders right now. I'm first thrilled. I hope everybody had a wonderful summer like I did. It was a pretty chill one. And the day has come. It's early September. The fall is right around the corner. And you know what fall means. That means football. And as we talked about, you can see me every single week discussing the NFL, the week in the NFL. We'll recap that again on Sundays or Mondays, Sunday nights into Mondays, I should say. So it's going to be a special time. This is what, the 100th, and I think it's already like, this will be the 103rd, 5th, 4th, 5th Super Bowl. We're heading into Super Bowl 59. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a special time. A real, real special time. And I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot different. There's no real established winner coming into this, and or an established favorite coming into this. And by the way, I said it's Super Bowl 59. We're actually headed to Super Bowl 60, the 60th anniversary of the Super Bowl this year, Super Bowl 60. And it's going to take place in Santa Clara, California. And yeah, let's start that road to the big game in early February. February 8th, 2026 will be Super Bowl Sunday. So let's get there. Let's talk about the NFL. Let's go through all 30 teams and let's have a discussion. What's going on? We're going to break this down by divisions, and I'll give you my thoughts on each team within that division. Tell you if they're going to get over or under their win total that Vegas has established. And yeah, let's get to it. Let's do some over-unders right now. I'm going to start with the AFC East. The Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. All right, let's start first here. The Buffalo Bills, their over-under number is 11.5. Will they win over or under 11.5 wins? So you have to win. They have to win 12. They have to win 12 games this year to officially hit their over. And anything under that, they hit their under. So at minus 160, they tell you to hit the over. And this is what I think so too. I think the Bills over is the way to go. They will hit over 11.5 wins. due to their elite roster. They have a much softer schedule this year, and I think the Bills are established. They brought in a lot of new guys last year, made a playoff run. Tough loss against a tough loss in the AFC Championship against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think now that they have a team that has had the playoff experience. They have the reigning AFC MVP in Josh Allen, and I think that this is their time once and for all. This is their time. The best quarterback in the AFC is Josh Allen, with established receivers, Coleman, Shakir, an underrated offensive line, a pretty solid defense with some great additions. And spoiler, we're going to make our Super Bowl pick, but I think this is the best team in the AFC, and I expect to see the Buffalo Bills play in their first Super Bowl since the 1993 season and get another shot once and for all to win the big game and what would, I think, be their 5th appearance. The Buffalo Bills over 11.5 due to their elite roster, soft schedule, and a team that is growing in experience. They're very impressive on Hard Knocks, and this is their time. Plus, re-signing James Cook will be vital to this season, and I think their committee behind him is going to establish a great running game. So watch out for the Buffalo Bills in 2025. The Miami Dolphins over/under is 8.5. Coach on the hot seat. A team that had an amazing season 2 years ago, very disappointing season last year. Tua returns. Offense looks pretty stagnant on paper, and the defense had a lot of movement in it. Go under at 8.5. I think, unfortunately, though Mike McDaniel is a fun coach to watch, he's definitely unique, has his own personality. I unfortunately think he will not be able to inspire his football team, and they will take another step back, leading to his termination, unfortunately. I don't want that to happen, but that's what I see happening. The New England Patriots, over-under is at 8.5. New coach Mike Vrabel in the building. Drake May in a sophomore season. Some additions on offense that are interesting as well. Though we'll see what happens with the defensive backs. I know they might be have some issues there. I actually think the Patriots are going to have a great comeback season. I think they're going to hit that over 8.5, return to the playoffs. They have a very sought-after coach in Mike Vrabel, who is great at running both defensively, obviously, and offensively. I think Drake May will have a breakout season, like a real, true breakout season. Show what he could do with his legs and that arm. And as long as Stephon Diggs behaves himself and stays healthy, I think they will be an elite duo. The Patriots hit that over 8.5. The New York Jets, 5.5. They too have a brand new coach, Aaron Gordon. They too have had quite a disappointing 2 years, and they're rebuilding once again. 5.5. Give that under. I think it's just simply a rebuild season. Not a lot of expectations. Justin Fields, can he really establish himself to be the quarterback next year? I do have, I think, one of the more underrated running back committees, Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, and even a defense that should improve. But Aaron Gordon's waited not Aaron Gordon. I said Aaron Gordon both times. Aaron Gordon, not the basketball player. Aaron Glenn is coming off of the impressive Lions defensive coordinator, even though he fell. He did as much as he can, even though that defense pretty much was all depleted through injuries. I think he will be able to create a better culture for the Jets. They might hit right on that 5-6 win total, but I think they are going to go under that 5.5 wins. So just to recap, the AFC East, the Bills over 11.5, the Dolphins under 8.5, the Patriots over 8.5, and the Jets under 5.5. That's what we have for the AFC East. Let's look at the NFC North. Baltimore Ravens, 11.5. Give me that over. Constantly dominant. They're structured really well on both sides of the ball. With somebody who arguably could have been the MVP himself in Lamar Jackson. The time is running out on the time is running out on this window they have here. I do think Derrick Henry could have another dominant season, though he is getting up there in age. I think some improvements on the offense, especially some better weapons, are good. And if the tight end game can be improved, obviously an ugly drop by Mark Andrews kind of defined the end of that season. But can he bounce back? Can Isaiah likely stay healthy and use that tight end game some more? That'll be the question on that offense for the Baltimore Ravens. With a defense, too, that should always be stepping up. Baltimore Ravens, I think, over 11.5, but I do think they might fall in the playoffs again. But we'll see what happens there. The Cincinnati Bengals, over-under is 9.5. We got Burrow staying elite. The defense still a little bit concerned, but they are bringing in DJ Hawkinson, even if it's on a 1-year deal. Give me the over 9.5. I mean, the Bengals, what they were able to prove at the end of the season, they did what they had to do, didn't get the help they needed towards the end of the season, so that led them to miss the playoffs. But I think the Bengals got some more help on the offensive line. Joe Burrow, as long as he plays another full season. Now with the Higgins-Chase duo growing even stronger, I think watch out for the Bengals in 2025. Give me over 9.5 wins there. The Cleveland Browns, 4.5 wins. Probably the most talked about team in this offseason. Obviously, with the addition of Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. They wound up trading Pickett. Joe Flacco's going to start the season. I think you are going to see Gabriel and or Shedeur eventually this season. They don't really have much going on for them besides that. Even though the 4.5 is low, I'll actually go over 4.5. I think they could win 5 or 6 games. But so that might be a bit of a stretch for I'm thinking. But the preseason looked good, low floor. I think they could at least win 5 or 6 games there. So give me over 4.5 for Cleveland. And then the Steelers. The big Steelers, another team that was talked about often this season. The addition of Aaron Rodgers, the addition of DK Metcalf. That really seems it. It seems that the Pittsburgh faithful are getting tired of Mike Tomlin. He's been there a long time and hasn't missed the playoffs once. Always a winning record, but have lost their last 6 games in the postseason. Everyone's paid, everything's established, 8.5. And do we really think Aaron Rodgers, in his final season, most likely, can he will this Steelers team to make a deep run in this division? Or is he going to underachieve? You know, obviously one of the best to ever do it, not the best pure talent at the position. But 8.5, I'm going to give you an under with the Steelers missing the playoffs the first time in the Mike Tomlin era. And we see Will Howard from Ohio State last year win a national championship, get his opportunity in the NFL. I just don't see it working there. I don't know if they could protect Rodgers as much as they can or supposed to. Give me under 8.5 wins for Pittsburgh with Will Howard playing at the end of the season. And now let's go to the AFC South. The AFC South right here. We got to start. Oh, wait, let me just recap one more time. The AFC North. Over 11.5 wins for Baltimore. Over 9.5 wins for Cincinnati. Cleveland, over 4.5 wins. Pittsburgh, under 8.5 wins. The AFC South. The Houston Texans at 9.5. CJ Stroud had a sophomore slump. Plus some injuries didn't help the team. What could they do? I think they're still rebuilding. 9.5 is a little high. Give me under 9.5 wins. They still have a lot of new players. I think CJ Stroud can have another good season and bounce back after a sophomore slump. But I think the Houston Texans still has a ways to go, unfortunately, especially on defense. So give me under 9.5. Very high number there. Indianapolis Colts, 7.5, right? The big thing here, obviously, Daniel Jones getting the starting quarterback position. Anthony Richardson going to be the quarterback too. Colts really have an underrated team. Daniel Jones will definitely have better weapons than he did in New York. I think Daniel Jones can strive once and for all and show the talent he has. And sure, obviously, it's well established. I'm a Giants fan of somebody who had Daniel Jones's back. We'll never know if he really could have reached his full potential or not. We always have that game in Minnesota. But I'm going to go over 7.5 wins. And Daniel Jones has an improved season, maybe even comeback player of the year. That's another bold take of mine. Daniel Jones with still Jonathan Taylor, he could still be a game changer in the game, both going out for passes or running the ball. With the offensive line that is pretty established, with some pretty good weapons that can get highlighted some more, give me Indianapolis over 7.5 wins with Daniel Jones having a much improved season. Jacksonville Jaguars over 7.5. Trevor Lawrence evolving. We got Travis Hunter on the squad now. I still think the Jaguars, they got a new coach and everything, rebuilding their culture there. 7.5, they might get right there, but I think they're going to go under 7.5 wins. Travis Hunter, I do think will have a great season. He's going to be wide receiver 1 and a backup defensive back. But I think if they could get him the ball, he can show how explosive he can be against NFL defenses. Played okay in the preseason, but we'll see what happens there now. But right at 7.5, give me under 7.5 for Jacksonville, but it'll be close. It will be close. And the Tennessee Titans, 5.5 is your under. I've never been more confident. Give me over 5.5 wins. I think Cam Ward is going to rake in the NFL. I think he's going to have an amazing rookie season. I predict now he's going to be the rookie of the year. And though I'm risking the jinx, I do think he showed what he could do in college. He knew how to make big comebacks. He could throw the ball. He could run. He's big. He's got pretty good weapons to help him out. I even think Calvin Ridley will have a really good season. Give me Tennessee Titans over 5.5. Even if they just get to 6 or 7 wins, I think they're going to take a step in the right direction with the Cam Ward era starting. So over 5.5 wins for Tennessee. Okay. So the AFC South, let's recap one more time. The Texans 9.5 under, Colts over 7.5, Jacksonville under 7.5, Tennessee over 5.5. And now let's wrap up the AFC with the AFC West, one of the more interesting divisions in all of football. The Denver Broncos, another year with the roster is still improving. They were able to get to the playoffs last year. Bo Nix established he could play in the NFL. I think they could get over 9.5. That's pretty high, but I do think I could see this team win 10 games this season. Again, this team has a pretty good running game. This team obviously has the best defensive back in the NFL with Surtain. Bo Nix can play. Give me the Broncos going over 9.5 wins. The Kansas City Chiefs. The team we've talked about all decades so far. The over-under is 11.5. Talent is high. Didn't really make many changes, but it's all on the offensive line. Won the AFC the last 3 seasons. 11.5 with a lot of media coming their way, right? I've been back and forth thinking about this for weeks. Can the Chiefs really go back to the Super Bowl once again? Can they make it to the 4th time and still try to get a dynasty, winning 3 out of the last 4 seasons, right? Man. I do think they'll win over 11.5 games because just the duo of Mahomes and Reed seems to never fail. I wouldn't be surprised if they went under. I think this will be the last season of Kelsey. He's going to retire this year. And it's all about if this offensive line can improve or not. I will say over 11.5. But they will lose either in the AFC Championship or the divisional round. Kansas City Chiefs over 11.5. Maybe because they are, though talented, they are old. Didn't do too many moves this offseason. Plus, Rashid Rice suspended for the first 6 games of the season. But I just think Patrick Mahomes is that much of a game changer, and he's someone that special that he himself can will this team to get over 11.5 wins. But I do think that they will lose in the playoffs and not make it to the Super Bowl. And that won't be a problem. Las Vegas Raiders, 6.5 wins. Pete Carroll's taking over. The roster is very much improved. Give me over 6.5 wins. I think they can establish themselves. I think Genti will also be a great rookie in this league. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited to see what he does in Vegas. And Geno Smith, I think, could be a good quarterback out there too. Give me the Vegas Raiders over 6.5 wins. And the Los Angeles Chargers, right? And it's all on Justin Herbert. The talent is present. See if they can make it this season with health. But I think they're going to go backwards. Under 9.5. I think Justin Herbert will not have a good season this year, despite these big moves. Young roster. We'll see what this new running back can do as well. But I think the Chargers are going to go backwards. So under 9.5 wins with the Chargers right there, right? That's what I'm going to go with there. I mean, do you really think an aging Keenan Allen coming back to the Chargers is going to make a difference? I don't think so. No. And their defense is pretty old as well. I think they're going to have a hard time to hang. So give me under 9.5 wins for the Chargers. So one more recap with AFC West. Denver over 9.5. Kansas City over 11.5. The Vegas Raiders over 6.5. The Chargers under 9.5. And that'll wrap up the AFC. So let's do our over-unders now for the NFC. Let's go to the NFC West. Sorry, NFC East we'll start, not the NFC West. We'll start with the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys, 7.5. Brand new coach. You heard about that trade, them trading their best defensive player. He went to Green Bay, Micah Parsons. And I don't think Kenny Clark will be able to fill the void that Parsons is leaving. Give me the Dallas Cowboys under 7.5 wins. I think they aren't going to make noise this year. They're not explosive. Even with the addition of George Pickens, I don't think Dak Prescott will have another good season. Also, line questions as well. Very, very uncertain. A lot of uncertainty when it comes to the offense. So under 7.5 wins for Dallas is what I'm going to predict. The New York Football Giants, their over-under is 5.5. Give me over, as they are about to start a rebuild. Everybody's really excited about Jackson Dart. Everybody's really excited about Abdul Carter. I think the Giants had a really good draft this year. We'll see if Cam Scatterboo and Tyrone Tracy could be a great running back committee. Especially Cam Scatterboo is a third down running back. I think will be something to watch out for. I think the Giants defense is going to improve mightily. And though they have the very toughest schedule in the NFL, I think that they will be competitive. And Russell Wilson, who knows what he has left, but I have more faith than others. So give me over 5.5 wins for the New York Football Giants. Philadelphia Eagles, 11.5. The core is still there. They only added to it. Team's almost the same and getting better. Give me an over 11.5. See if Saquon Barkley can have another amazing season again for the Eagles. Wouldn't be surprised if he did. But that team is as well as it can be built. And not a lot of major changes were made to the Eagles this year. So give me over 11.5 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Commanders, 9.5, right? Jaden Daniels, we'll see if the hype is real for him. They're going to bring in this new rookie running back that I think will take the job from Austin Eckler and will have a breakout season. Terry McLaurin is back. The defense, this great defense is back. I think the Commanders will just slightly win over 9.5 games. They can win 10 or 11. And we'll say the Eagles can win 12, 13, 14. I think the Commanders can win over 9.5 games. So recap the NFC East. Dallas Cowboys under 7.5. The New York Giants over 5.5. Philadelphia Eagles over 11.5. And the Commanders over 9.5 wins. The NFC North. What does the NFC North have to offer? Well, let's think, right? We have the we have the Chicago Bears. Their over-under is 8.5. They got a new coach, Ben Johnson. Brand new offense. Can Caleb Williams had a rough start to his rookie season last year, improved as the season went on. Well, I'm not feeling the Bears, especially on defense. I still think their offense needs to mature, and Caleb Williams still needs to mature. I don't think the Bears are going to do much this season. Give me under 8.5 wins for the Chicago Bears. Detroit Lions, 10.5 is the number. Obviously, a special 15 win season, with the 15-win season curse happened again, right? Almost a completely depleted defense. Most of those players are coming back. The Lions are getting new coordinators, but I think Dan Campbell is that good of a coach. Give me over 10.5 wins for the Detroit Lions in 2025. And I think we saw how good Jared Goff really is in this league. You still have the best running back committee in the NFL in Gibbs and Montgomery. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Williams is there. Laporte is there, establishing himself after an amazing rookie year. I'm really, really excited for the Lions this year. I think that they could get over 10.5 wins and pretty easily. Lions over 10.5 wins. Green Bay Packers 9.5. Team was already looking great coming into this season. Now you add Micah Parsons to that defense. You have another year Jordan Love. You have another great running back committee. You have a stellar defense. Everybody's raring and ready to go. Packers over 9.5 wins. I'm excited to see what the Packers do, but I think they'll have a very disappointing loss in the playoffs. That's what I'm going to go with. The Packers over 9.5 wins. The Vikings 8.5 wins. Not a lot of people are optimistic about JJ McCarthy, and I'm a part of that list as well. Under 8.5 wins. I just don't think JJ McCarthy's gonna have a good NFL career. I don't think he has the arm to do it. I don't think his accuracy is there. You know, when Justin Jefferson went down in fantasy value simply because they don't think they'll be able to get him to have the ball, plus Jordan Addison's issues off the field. And the defense is pretty stagnant. Vikings, excuse me. Though I think David O'Connor is a very good coach, he seems to go under. Just don't have the talent to help that team out. The NFC North, the Bears under 8.5 wins, Lions over 10.5 wins, Packers over 9.5 wins, Vikings under 8.5 wins. And the NFC South, right? What are we going to do with the NFC South? We got the Falcons over 7.5. Michael Penix's first full season in the NFL. Still with a great roster who made a lot of noise last year but collapsed. I do think that I think that 7.5 number is low. So give me over 8.5 wins with Michael Penix improving this season. The Panthers at 6.5. Still unsettling with the quarterback situation. Still rebuilding. Still trying to figure themselves out on both sides of the ball. I think the Panthers are going to continue figuring themselves out under 6.5 wins for Carolina. And then the Saints, also, the coach that might not be that good, with a quarterback as Spencer Rattler, with a team that has a few gems on it, but are just out in the abyss. That 6.5 go under that. Saints are not going to be a good team. They're probably going to be the worst team in the NFL this year, unfortunately. Tampa Bay, solid roster. Baker Mayfield once again. Give me over 9.5 wins. I think this team has a good cohesion. It's a good team around him. Good coach. I think the Bucs can win over 9.5 games. So Falcons over 7.5 wins. Carolina under 6.5. New Orleans under 6.5. Tampa over 9.5. But probably the worst division in the NFL, in the NFC South. Last but not least, the NFC West. The NFC West has the Arizona Cardinals. Give me an over 8.5. That team keeps getting better each and every year. Young and powered offense, with one of the best tight ends in the game. We need as long as Marvin Harrison has a much better season than he did last year, and a Cardinals defense is pretty underrated. I think the Cardinals are going to have a very good season this year. So over 8.5 wins for the NFC West. Los Angeles Rams, another team that's actually really impressive this year. I think even Matt Stafford could still hold his own. I think they have a really good roster. They almost beat the Eagles in the snow in Philly, even though being at the other side of the country. Rams impressed me. I really think the Rams are going to go deep this year. So give me over 9.5 wins for Los Angeles. San Francisco 49ers. Still elite, but team's aging. Brock Purdy got paid. It's been a frustrating era in the Kyle Shanahan era. But I'm actually going to say that they go under 10.5 wins, despite a good roster. I just think that people are going to overstay their welcome. I think Brock Purdy has grossly overpaid. And I just think this team is just very old. Lost Debo. They don't know what the heck they're doing with Brandon Ayuk. I think this questions on the offense, especially the weapons, is going to be a problem. 49ers under 10.5 wins. And the Seattle Seahawks, also rebuilding, very high, 8.5. Eventually, will Sam Darnold keep the job, or will Jalen Murrell have a chance? Give me under 8.5 wins for the NFC West. So I just don't think I just think Sam Darnold, especially, really, really digressing in the playoffs. I just think he's going to have a tough season in Seattle while they're still trying to figure out their roster. So Cardinals over 8.5 wins, Rams over 9.5 wins, 49ers under 10.5 wins, Seahawks under 8.5 wins. That's your NFC West. So let us make our way too early predictions right now. Who will be in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara? So representing the AFC will be the Buffalo Bills, due to their great offense with the MVP and Josh Allen. They got a really established defense that can stop the run, that can prevent weapons from having stellar games. And I think this is their time where the Bills finally get over the hump. They can finally beat Kansas City. And I expect Josh Allen to play in his first Super Bowl this February. And in terms of the NFC, I really like the Rams. I like the Packers. I like the Lions. I think the Lions are going to pull it off, and everybody's going to be healthy. Hutch is back. Some people are skeptic about the new coordinators coming in, but I think this team will pick up where they left off, shake off the bad loss against Washington in the playoffs, and they'll be in their first Super Bowl ever, the Detroit Lions. So representing the AFC is the Buffalo Bills. Representing the NFC is the Detroit Lions. We have a Lions and Bills Super Bowl, with the Bills winning their first Super Bowl ultimately and becoming the champions. So it's the Bills' year. We'll see if they do it. See if I jinxed it or whatever. But the NFL is wide open, and we should all be excited for it. Let us now start the next 22 weeks. Nothing but NFL football, and it's going to be a great time. And remember, each and every week on Sundays/Mondays, you will see a recap of this week in the NFL. So NFL recaps every Sunday night into Monday morning. So get ready for that. My name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. I will see you on Friday with the tweet cap, and I will see you on Sunday night with the recap of the NFL season and college football. Sorry, recap of the NFL week in the NFL and a recap of the week in college football. See you then. All the love. and football's back. Bye-bye.